Hi everybody, and welcome back. Here's our next problem. Provide the mixed condensed structures for the molecules that are represented by the models below. Legend: gray is carbon, white is hydrogen, red is oxygen, and green is nitrogen. So we have two different models here. They're ball and stick models. They're a little bit tricky to see, especially with these branched chains that we have, because it's a little tricky to see the arrangements in space. These are kind of on top of each other. So I know I had to stare at this for quite some time, especially on molecule number 1. So let's just take it slowly and look and see how these are connected to each other. So we're going to draw a mixed condensed structure. As its name indicates, we start with the notion of a condensed structure. So our main chain is written in the form of a condensed structure, essentially. But we show the bonds to the substituents rather than indicating them in parentheses. So we show the bonds to the substituents, so not parentheses. And we show the types of bonds, even in the main chain, so whether there's triple or double bonds. So it's just a little bit more informative than a plain old condensed structure, or a little easier to read, I think. So let's look at molecule number 1. Let's look for our main chain. So the easiest to see is in the middle. We have a gray ball with 2 lines to a red ball. So that red ball is oxygen. So we have a CO double bond. And then bonded to that carbonyl carbon, we have a green ball, so a nitrogen, with just 1 hydrogen. And then there's chains on either side. The right side is a little less cluttered, a little less complicated. So we'll start with that. So we're going to start by writing. We have a CO carbonyl bond. So we'll write the letter C and then draw 2 lines going up from it to an O. So there's our carbonyl bond. Again, we show the bond to the substituent there. That carbon is bonded to a nitrogen, so we'll write N next to the C. The nitrogen has 1 hydrogen, so we'll write NH. Now the chain going off to the right, we'll highlight that in blue. From the nitrogen, we have a bond to a carbon, and that's a CH2, we can see there. Then another bond to a second carbon, which is CH2, and to a third carbon, which is CH3. So a basic propyl group there, no substituents. So we'll write CH2, CH2, CH3. Now we just need to deal with the left, and this one's a little trickier. So let's look for our chain here. From the carbonyl carbon, we've got a bond to another carbon. That carbon has a methyl substituent, so that's not our main chain. Then there's a bond to a second carbon, excuse me. And this second carbon has 2 methyl groups attached. So we just consider one of them the end of the chain. So let's go to the one that's kind of projecting outwards. In 3D notions, it would be kind of coming up out of the plane of the screen towards us. So we have a 3 carbon chain, a propyl chain coming from that carbonyl carbon, and then 2 methyl substituents. So I highlight the bonds to the substituents in red. So from the first carbon out from the carbonyl carbon, there's a bond to a methyl group. And then again on that second carbon, one of them, it looks like it has 2 methyl groups. One will call part of the main chain, and then one will be a methyl substituent. So the way we write that, so working to the left, kind of backwards from the carbonyl carbon, we've got a CH that has a methyl substituent, so we draw a line down from the C and write CH3. And then we've got another CH, and that has another CH3 that we'll call part of the main chain, and then we'll draw a line up from that second carbon and draw CH3, the other methyl group. So for number 1, our final condensed structure, or mixed condensed structure we should say, is CH3, CH, the line from the C, and then CH3, then CH with a line from the C saying CH3, and C double bonded to O, NH, CH2, CH2, CH3. So there's our mixed condensed structure there. Then for number 2, this is fortunately a little more straightforward here. We have in our main chain, we've got a carbon CH3, and then we've got that's bonded to a second carbon, so CH. That carbon has a methyl substituent. We'll indicate with a red bond. Then we've got CH2, CH2, and then that CH2 is bonded to a carbon. That carbon has no hydrogens, but it has 3 lines to a red ball for nitrogen. So it's got a triple bond to nitrogen at the end there. The nitrogen has no hydrogens. So for our mixed condensed structure on the main chain, we'll write that all condensed. So we've got CH3 and then CH. We draw a line up from the C and write CH3. Then we have CH2, CH2, lastly C, and then we draw 3 lines for a triple bond N. So again, our mixed condensed structure there is CH3, CH, with a line from the C going up to CH3, CH2, CH2, C, triple bond N. So that would be our mixed condensed structure for molecule number 2. Hope to see you in the next video.